And we are live. Welcome to Fun in the Country Basement. I'm Walter Kuntry 3D. This is the show where Chris Riley, Fun King 3D, and I work on great projects, chat, just shoot the crap, and Glenn is still the old guy in the friggin' room. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Ben Hawksworth, a.k.a. Hawks 3D Proto. Y'all get ready to have as much fun as a fox in the hen house. It's time for Fun in the Country Basement. Let's go, Glenn. See what you got. Get me off of your table cam.
Oh, are we still on the kit? Oh, there we go. You could have told me that. You could have told me that before we started.
I didn't. I was reading the script, man. I didn't even look until
you
just
know. You know, it's your fault. At your age, it's all your fault. See, and here I thought I was being proactive because I muted my mic to make sure that my YouTube was muted before it started, so that I wasn't that guy today. But I'm gonna blame it on the sickness. So, but hey, everybody, I am Glenn, and this is Fun King 3D. Even though I am representing some print and play today, but we really are Fun King 3D, and we can be found everywhere at Fun King 3D.
Mr. Hawksworth.
Yeah.
Is your printer breaking back there? It sounds like it's beating a drum.
No, I think you're just gonna have to get used to the beat for like the 2 hours or however long we do this for. Just got a bit of a sound effects going on. Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right.
Hi everyone. Thanks to Walter and Glenn for having me on the Fun in the Country Basement. I'm a big fan of this show. I try to watch it every week when I can, when Chris is usually here as well. And of course, when just Glenn and Walter are here as well. I'm Ben from Hawk 3D Proto. I'm in the UK. I'm in not so sunny West Yorkshire. I've been on YouTube for quite a number of years. I had a business doing 3D printing, and now I'm a content creator. I also do Twitch live streams. But to be honest, everything's been a bit quiet over the past month or so, but it's going to pick back up soon. If that's getting really annoying, I can stop the print, and I think I will. So I'll just do that now.
No.
Leave it running.
Don't
sure?
stop the print. Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's only when it does the PVA.
It's fine. I mean, eventually Walter will start droning on about something and cover it anyway.
First, I got to handle the chat, so I'm going to click on the participants and see what we got here. We've got 3D Printing Llama, Andrew S., Britt Hawks 3DP, Casa del Wackos, Chris Gulata, Christoph Lemons, Dwayne S., Jeff Slater, Justin 3D, Lester C. Weatherall, Mapro 6, Mayan Misfits, Knack 3D Designs, Patrick Nijenhoff, Poppy Ron, Sean Gould, Sean Butler, Red Light, and I know Bob S. is still in here. And some of those that were up at the top that did not comment again. Hardman's here. Let me see who else. Jason Hopkins, John Cook, Alkesh 1, HVAC A to Z, Mayan Misfit, Fred Greer, Andrew S. Why don't it show all these people? Sean Butler. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, welcome to Fun in the Country Basement. You know how this works. We're gonna yell at each other, Glenn and I, how old we each are.
So for those of you guys who don't know, when Walter and Chris and I came up with this idea of Fun in the Country Basement, well, originally it wasn't going to be broadcast, and then we thought, well, you know, why not? Why not do it live? And we were going to ignore the chat, and that never took off either. But we wanted to keep it small and just the three of us, unless one of us couldn't be here, then we would invite a guest in to replace whoever wasn't here. And then it got to the point where none of us wanted to miss an episode. So it was like, it's getting hard to find time for guests. But luckily and unluckily for this next couple of weeks, Chris has got some work. They've got him out of town for work over the weekends. So we get the opportunity to have a guest in here, and Ben has been waiting patiently. Like every week he emails me, is it my turn yet? Is it my turn? No, I'm just kidding. But it is finally his turn to be here, and so he is our basement today. I don't know if you have a basement, Ben, but you have to say that you're in the basement.
I'm in the basement.
Hey, look, Glenn, you're representing Print and Play today. I've got the Chris's basement on here because we were missing Chris today, so I figured I would represent Chris while I was here. I do want to jump back over here real quick and let's make this announcement. Carl from Knack 3D Designs put it in the chat. He put a link in the chat, and you go check it on Twitter. But I'm going to read it out right now because this is friggin' awesome news for Carl, and I'm so proud of him and what he's did with the White Knight printer. His tweet says, "I am pleased to announce that due to the overwhelming positive response to the White Knight belt printer, Knack 3D Designs and Printed Solid have formed an alliance to bring the community a kit version of the White Knight. Stay tuned for future announcements."
Awesome. That is incredible.
That is friggin' amazing, Carl. What a friggin' thing to have done, man. That's awesome, man.
Absolutely.
Congrats, Carl.
And what a great company to do it with. So
yeah.
Awesome. So I also happen to notice over your shoulder there, Walter, that you have that amazing collector's edition official t-shirt, keeping your printer warm.
I look, I could not represent one without at least showing off the other. You know. And you know what? We are officially welcome that crazy swamp guy Larry. He is here today. He's a freaking fantastic guy. Y'all watch out for him. He'll show up sometime.
Not the swamp guy Larry.
He will show up sometime during this stream. You watch what I tell you.
I got my official crazy swamp guy Larry sticker.
Yes, you do. You got one of 3 that we're giving away.
I was going to say, I heard these were very limited edition, so I'm actually going to put this on eBay. Bidding is going to start at $5,000.
Is my pixels messed up again today, guys? Is my
you're a little grainy.
Because even on my Google Hangouts, when it pops up on my Hangout, it's crystal clear. I have the focus set on me, so your shirt's going to be out of focus.
No, you're grainy as well. I mean, you look better on YouTube than you do to me in
Hangout?
Google. Yeah.
Well, okay.
I don't know. There's gotta be another option that we can work through other than this Hangouts. Because
I'm pulling it up on live and it's grainy as crap on live.
Yeah, it just I don't know. Do you take Monopoly money?
That's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Monopoly money. Hold up now.
Who's playing Monopoly?
Well, I like Monopoly money, but not for my crazy swamp guy Larry sticker.
Right. But no, I think I had 6 of them. If I'm not mistaken, there were 6 of them, and I still have 3 in my possession. And those are limited because that logo is going to change. That font is unsustainable when it comes to making vinyl shirts or whatever.
Yeah,
so that logo will change.
That looks like that's a really hard font to pick at. But yeah, and I know I said it yesterday in the live stream, but I was really chinsy with giving out my stickers at Murph, and it's not because I didn't want to. I mean, one, because I was so overwhelmed, I wasn't really thinking about handing stuff out, but it's because I was paying 65 cents a sticker before, and like that hurt every time I gave one out. Now they're 6 cents a sticker. I don't care, and it was just like kind of a old bad habit of not giving them out. Farts in the country basement. Hello, brother James. Repping you, brother. Repping you right there.
Yeah, I said I'm the farts.
Yeah, I get it. Well, no. You're the basement. I'd be the fart.
Yeah, I'm the basement. Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
No, I don't think
James lack of ponytail.
Yeah, I don't think James is going to come in and pick on you. He'll only come in and pick on me.
Old farts.
No, there's only one old fart here, and that's Walter.
For some reason.
It might be pixelated, but it can still hear you.
I don't know what just happened, but it kicked me out of the Google Hangout, and I had to open it again.
I think it just came back at the right time.
If he would have paused for 1 second longer, the point that you came in and said, "I don't know what happened," I was going to say, at your age, sometimes that happens, Walter.
I know, right? But I'm sitting here not doing anything, and it just all of a sudden just poof, dropped everything out. I'm like, what the crap? I was hoping it didn't kill the broadcast.
Yeah, no. Thankfully, we're all still here. So,
yeah, wow, that's amazing. I don't know how that happened, and I still have the stop broadcast button at the bottom, even though I came back in and joined.
Oh, Mayan Misfit right now is getting banned for saying that I look older than Walter.
Hold up. Lone Eagle got it first. Lone Eagle up here. He said, "Howdy, old man Glenn and young man Walter." See there, I told y'all. Everybody knew it. You know what though? You know, I think it's cool, man, that we're only 3 months apart, dude. I really do. I think that's cool.
I know, because every time I tell people that story, they're shocked that you're that young.
Yeah, you let me shave off this gray beard I got. I'll show you a baby face.
Will you do that live on the air?
What, shave off this beard?
Yeah.
I will in 2020.
Why in 2020?
Because it's no shave 19.
Oh.
So I gotta grow it until the 1st of 2020. And then when that's over, the goatee's still gonna stay. I'm keeping the goatee. That's not going anywhere.
You should shave your head.
I do that quite often.
All the cool people have bald heads.
I do that quite often. Do live donations get Walter to shave on the air? They will. They will add up until 2020. So y'all keep hitting that $sign down there. That's great for me.
So I was reading through the manual last night for the Duet Do X5 board. It applies to the Do X2 as well. So let's warp back in time just a little bit to the point where I put 24 volts into a 12 volt 5015 blower fan and melted it. It put out some wind, let me tell you, but it melted. And I could have sworn that I had read that the Duet board, regardless of what you put into it, either put out 12 or 5 volts for the fans. And then I learned that that's not true.
That's not correct.
Right. The Duet board will either put out 5 volts or VIN, the voltage in. But I know that I had read it. I knew that I'd read it somewhere, and I thought maybe I had just read it in a forum or whatever, and somebody was wrong. Well, come to find out, the Do X board does exactly that. There's actually a 12 volt voltage regulator built into the Do X board. And so you can actually set this to put out, regardless of what your incoming voltage, well, as long as it's higher than 12. So if you have a 24 volt input, you can set this to put out 12 volts to your fan. So I wasn't wrong. I just read the wrong thing.
What's up there, Paul Cumber?
Hey, Paul. That just made me
Anton,
feel a little more normal.
Shea Street. Hold on, we missed a couple. Let me go back. Teresa's here. Thomas M. Ross. Carl Schoenman. Whatever Maker. Uncle Ron. I think it's about it. Matt Johnson. Printing plays in the house. Look, you're wearing his shirt and he shows up. How about that?
We were talking to him like 10 minutes ago. Where were you? Oh, that might have been
when you were left.
That's right. I got kicked out of the stream.
That's right, when you were gone. Yeah.
YouTube could not handle the awesomeness.
But you're less pixelated now, which is good.
Carl, what is the concern about applying power to the Do X? I know that I read that when you first hook it up, you should only power it off of 5 volt, like from a USB, just to double check everything, and that the power connectors are opposite of one another. But if it's something else, I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm trying to adjust my bandwidth on here to see if that helps with the pixelation of my image. No, that made it worse. I need to go back up a notch. Let's see if that's any better.
Yeah, Carl, I did read that as well last night. They said don't run separate grounds all the way to the power supply to make sure that the ground was daisy chained from one board to the other. So yeah, that's good.
Hey, Hawk, what are you printing, man? And what printer is that you're printing it on?
It's the BCN 3D Sigmax, and it's the Wraith from a computer game called Apex Legends, which is quite popular at the moment. It's a first-person shooter. Above where I am here, there should be a picture of it. So hopefully, if that thing doesn't fail, then it should come out nicely with PVA.
All that fanciness with dual materials and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had some big issues with this printer. Like, we had this when we had the business, and then when I brought it home, like when I was setting up the studio and everything, it was working perfectly fine. And then I had some issues with it, so much so that I sent it back to Barcelona and told them to repair it, because I was like, you know, we've paid X amount for this money, for this machine rather. You know, we expect a bit better level of service than this. So, yeah, they kindly did the repair, and I just had to cover the shipping.
My printer decided it wanted to start jamming too.
It's probably my fault.
It is.
None of mine have that issue because I'm not running any right now.
Right.
Tony Ryan, you heard the FK1 is getting a tool changer? That's news to me. Oh, in 2025. I don't know. You know, I got asked a lot of questions like that at Murph. You know, why I didn't do dual extrusion. Am I going to do dual extrusion? Am I going to think about doing IDEX on it? You know, and it's like, I just want it to be a printer first, and then I'm going to release it to the community, and then you guys can do whatever you want to it. But bed leveling is the biggest issue. But thanks to Joe over at Project Red, he stepped up and got me the DuX 5 board so that we can get some auto leveling set up on there. Yeah, Carl, that's exactly what I read. Apparently, what happens is if the ground isn't sufficient in between them, that it will end up running ground through the ribbon cable. Like, it'll run high current through the ribbon cable, and then it can cause it to burn up. So, but they're side by side, so they won't be. I won't be powering them back. I won't be wiring them back to the power supply. It will be daisy chained from one to the other, and my wire gauge is plenty big. I forget what size I use for the power, but it's probably twice the size that it needs to be. So, as big as it is, you could do a 20 tool changer. Well, what 20 tools would you put on it? Oh, I have a tool that's just a nylon brush to dust off the bed. You know, like.
I really need these parts to finish so I can build this bear kit down here.
Fotis Mint's in the chat. He's the designer of this print that I'm doing right now.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. Mint? Well, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the crazy train.
He's another ZBrush wizard like Wexter.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around organic modeling. I haven't spent a lot of time doing it, but it took me a long time to finally wrap my head around modeling anything in 3D. Now, that was a long time ago. It was like 20 years ago, but yeah, organic modeling, I just can't get there yet. So thank you, Jason Hopkins. I appreciate that.
Man, when you started 3D modeling, the clay was still being made.
Yeah, it hadn't been perfected yet. It was one of God's first betas of clay.
You know, it's funny because he made Adam's rib on that, right? Gathered it up.
Was that on stone tablets?
That's right. That's right. I don't even think there was any stones yet.
Did you mean 10 years ago, Glenn, because of your young years? I think I was I would have been about my mid-20s when I first picked up Rhino 3D.
That's right, Hardman. You keep that up, buddy. Glenn's first project was a Rosetta Stone.
Uncle Ron said he was slow mixing in the water.
That's right.
So what happened to the bear, Walter?
I actually am missing some parts. I started looking at it today. I don't have any rod holders. So the most I could have done is put the bottom frame together and then been like, okay, now I'm stuck. So I'm printing rod holders right now.
All right.
And the reason I'm printing those is because the ones I had won't work. I had some that I had on the printer before, but they will not work for the height and the way that the bed is laid out now. So I need the new ones. Where's Chris today? That's a good question because he released videos today.
Yeah, we're playing a game called Where in the World is Chris San Diego? And
Chris San Diego.
Chris is out of town due to work because those stupid jobs always get in the way of the fun stuff.
You know, I've been working on that every Saturday and Wednesday night. I try to work on that job thing, but it ain't worked out for me yet.
But yeah, Chris is not going to be with. I shouldn't say that because now nobody will tune in. But Chris isn't going to be with us for the next couple of weeks. But
I'm just a really bad replacement.
you need a ponytail, Ben.
I'll print one.
And I know that he's not in the chat, but I need to apologize to Matt Snow because his cup is in my truck, and I did not show it off on my loot that I got. So I was upset with that I didn't show it off in my Murph recap.
Well, my plan for my recap video yesterday, my stream yesterday, was Xander and I were going to randomly step off camera and change T-shirts.
All right.
Because I got so many. And then I just realized that would be really hard and awkward with the mic. And then, of course, being sick, I'm super weak right now anyway. So it's just, I just talked about all the swag.
Well, that, you know, you being super weak is just situation normal for a guy your age.
True.
Ben's going to lose it over there. We're going to lose Ben in a minute.
We don't have Chris to referee today. It's just no holds bar.
I'm just letting you get on with it.
I warned you at the beginning of the stream.
Yeah,
I mean, it's one thing sitting at home and like just watching it, but being like practically in the middle of it.
There's a reason we only do this once a week, Ben, because by the end of the show we hate each other so bad we don't talk to each other until next Sunday.
We're just done.
We like unfriend each other on Facebook and unfollowing each other on Twitter and then re-add each other on the Saturday.
I mean, I got to ask a question. And Glenn, don't you ever watch this in your household while your kids are present? But there's a Hulu show.
My kids are present. Oh,
yeah. Don't ever watch it while they are present. It's called Future Man. Has anybody watched that show?
Future Man?
Future Man.
No.
No? Guys at work told me about it. So I came home and I watched it. And I'm in season 2, but man, it's a hard watch. It really is.
Is it as bad as Bird Box?
What's that, Ben?
Bird Box. I think it's
I didn't
called.
watch that either.
Bird Box.
That was like that one where they're all blindfolded and if they open their eyes, they get killed or something.
Yeah. Everybody said, oh, it's so great. Y'all got to watch it. Me and my wife watched it. Neither one of us liked it.
Yeah, it was.
There were a couple parts that were okay, but for the most part, it was just that.
No, I've been watching some really like obscure stuff on Netflix. A lot of it's like Netflix originals, and like it's like B quality stuff. You know, like it's not. There's no well-known actors in it or anything, but some of it I'm really getting into the storylines.
I figured you'd go back and watch those shows about your best friends. You know, like Moses and those guys.
Oh, I haven't seen those guys in years.
Ben's gone. But I do got a question for anybody out there. I found this coin. It was in my box. It wasn't in my bag. Somebody made this coin for me. It's got my hat on it. It's got Kuntry 3D. This is not one of the designs that I've ever printed. So somebody had to have made this for me, and I have no idea who did. I found it today. So if anybody knows who made that, then
somebody will step up. Yeah, like the different people have been commenting and sending me DMs and stuff on the stuff I couldn't identify as well. So
yeah,
they'll.
Well, I have to say, I know I have made it big in YouTube because I have my own freaking bobblehead.
Oh, high quality one too.
Man, it was awesome. I'm gonna tell you right now. And Robbie Mac's not here, but I have to give him props again. That was freaking awesome.
Yeah, but you know, I got a problem with Robbie Mac.
What's your problem with Robbie Mac?
Well, I really needed to use the restroom the other day, and I couldn't get into the stall because he was in there doing interviews.
He was supposed to be interviewing that damn crazy swamp guy Larry, but he never told him to come on.
Was he playing battle shits?
He reserved the stall, but he never did get it.
So who put the note on the stall?
Robbie Mac did.
Did he?
Yeah. Thinking about it, it wasn't taken down till the next day.
Hartman said, Walter, as soon as your video quality is good, then we can see what it was, and perhaps the guilty one can recognize it.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up again, maybe. I don't know.
It's kind of washed out.
Yeah, I can pull up my – well, there you go. I mean, you can see that it says Kuntry 3D, and it's got a hat on it. So,
yeah, I think you got it too close to the light, though.
Sweet, Angela. I appreciate that. Too close to the light. There's no light even like remotely. It's just sunlight. It's –
yeah, it's like the white balance on the print itself is washed out.
Washed out like Walter's age.
Hey, you guys got to back off Walter. I mean, just because he's as old as God's father.
We used to hang out. Smoke Marlboro.
I want y'all to know that I'm sipping my beverage from the mug of Inside the Mind of Matt. Matt was kind enough to score me this mug right at the end of Murph, so I want to give him some coverage. Now, Ethan Makes. I talked about Ethan Makes yesterday. This young man gave me a I don't know, what do you call those things that you stick to the front of your stepper motor on the Prusa's and they spin with your extruder? I don't know if those have a name, but he came up and gave me an Ethan Makes magnet for the front of my extruder. And he's, I don't know how old he is. He's got to be like about Xander's age, I guess. But he's got a YouTube channel.
Oh, sorry.
He's got a YouTube channel, and I gave him a shout out yesterday, and we bumped his subscribers, not hugely, but we did give him a little bump to his subscribers, which I thought was pretty awesome.
Nice.
Sweet. What's up, veteran? Wexter's in the house, Glenn.
Wexter's in the house?
Yeah, I still gotta print some of his models, man. I meant to right before Murph to go over and jump on Patreon so I could get some of those cool models he's got. But I'm like, you know what? I need every dime for Murph, so I didn't do it right then.
Yeah, I hear you.
Like that this little Kill Bill model.
What's that, Ben?
This is a Kill Bill model that Vedran did.
Nice. Yeah, I need to spend a little more time doing some just regular prints again. Everything has been for the FK1.
I got told I needed to do some modeling, but when I tried, they didn't want to take pictures of me.
Not at your age.
Right?
Yeah, so Ethan is sitting at 277 subscribers right now. So I'm gonna drop his link into the chat.
If we can get all 84 in chat to
yeah, if you guys would go show Ethan some love. I mean, he's a young man and he's trying, and he was pretty awesome, and he was excited to give me the magnet for the front of my Prusa. I like to support the kids because that's the next generation of idiots like us.
Go sing for your sucker, Ricky Tanner. One of these days, I'm gonna get to Nashville and catch a couple of those.
You went and met up with Ricky though, didn't you?
No, I went to breakfast on the way back. I stopped by his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we were supposed to have breakfast on the way there, and his wife had planned something for their spring break, so they were out of town. So on the way back, I made sure that I stopped by there.
Uncle Ron said AARP magazine needs models, Walter.
I tried, Uncle Ron. They said I was too good looking, and they just couldn't put me in there.
I almost hate to admit this, but I get an AARP membership thing in the mail like once a month.
That's funny because they don't send me nothing.
I think it's because my father and I shared the same name, and then somehow I ended up on there. I thought about sending it in just to see if I could get the benefits.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's really funny because it was a few years ago. Actually, we walked into a Taco Bell in Perry, Florida, and it was in Chiefland, Florida. And we walked in there, and me and my wife sit down, and I got to the table, and I looked at the bill, and it said senior citizens discount. I was never so happy to be called a senior citizen. It saved me like $2 on my order.
Paul Cumber says he misses Xander's thing Thursday, and so do I. But Xander doesn't want to do it. But he is actually looking at building what is it called? FDL? Project FDL.
Yeah.
Nerf gun, which was pretty crazy. Yesterday, Project FDL started following me on Instagram just completely out of the blue, which I thought was pretty amazing. So I'm not 50 yet, Carl. Gosh.
55.
But not 55. There yet.
Carl, 55.
That was very Napoleon Dynamite. Gosh.
It was.
Idiot.
It sounded just like Napoleon Dynamite.
Your lips hurt real bad. Gosh.
Now,
Tina, come get some ham.
Hair, hey, look, if he just had the hair, he would look like Napoleon.
that movie is epic. I love that movie.
You guys go to Chick-fil-A?
So do my girls.
What was that, Ben?
You guys go to Chick-fil-A?
Oh, yeah.
Is that a big thing in the States?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know whether you saw this on Twitter, but I did this custom sauce holder for a streamer that I watch on Twitch.
Hey, I've got one of those sauce holders on my table right here, too.
Oh, there you go.
I don't have one of those because we don't eat in the car.
Okay.
I don't go to Chick-fil-A. That's for my someday son-in-law.
For your someday. I thought you said Sunday. I was going to say.
I thought you said someday. I thought that was going to get a bit weird then.
My someday.
Michael Fox said that Ethan makes us now up to 286. You know what I love about this? Like when Joel did the big giveaway a couple years ago, year and a half ago, and boosted us, and then we did our 5,000K giveaway and boosted. We included Thomas Arduino Makes in there, and we didn't tell him, and it was fun. But then he found out because everybody's talking about it. But it's fun to boost people this way because he won't have any idea why.
Yeah. They'll wake up and they'll be like, "Wow."
Well, little Thomas, Thomas was out of town when I did it, and then finally, when he figured out what was going on, he was so excited. And I said, well, you need to understand, Thomas, that because it's boosted by giveaway, you're going to lose some after the giveaway's over. And he said, I don't care. I have so many now.
Glenn, I'll let you read what Llama put.
No, Llama's in the house. You guys missed the taste of scrambled dinosaur eggs. I don't know, Tom. Why don't you tell us? You're about the same age.
Touche, Mr. Llama.
And Game Critic said he joined because of Joel, and he stuck around since then. That's nice of you, Game Critic.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, much better than the 1,200 or so that bailed afterwards. That hurt. It was almost a year. It was almost a year that that my YouTube count was just going down. All of a sudden it would go up a little bit and then it'd go down. And it'd go up a little bit and then it'd go down. And it was like I thought it was just gonna fall and fall and fall. And then it finally leveled out at right about the 4,000 mark. But we're at I think 4677 right now. So, but you know, at first it bothered me and it really bothered Xander. And then I just said to Xander one day, I said, you know what? If those people don't want to be here, I don't want them here.
That's right.
Happened to me as well, Glenn. The drop.
Yeah.
It feels like a real kick in the teeth at the time, but then I guess it's one of those where you either go, that's it, I'm not doing it anymore, or you go, I'm just going to carry on anyway.
Well, I think it would be different. Like, had I done something, like had I decided that, you know, maybe I'd been running my channel one way and I decided I didn't want it to be like that and I was going to go this way. And then all of a sudden it started to drop. Yeah. Then it would be like, oh man, did I make a mistake? Yeah. But the loss wasn't my fault. I mean, it was purely because it was contest and people joined just to get an entry. They didn't really want to be here, and that's fine. I mean, what's important is the people that are in the chat right now. You know, these are the people that are important.
See, no wonder Robbie Mac's not here. He's out there publishing things on Thingiverse right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's
no excuse. He needs to get his butt in here.
Well, I will tell you, I'm at 1261, which amazes me, man. It really does amaze me. I think after Murph last year, I jumped up to like 41 or 42 subscribers or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took me a while to get to that first 100 mark. And then, I mean, it's been steady up since then, I have to say. And it's a great thing.
Well, we hit that first 100 mark really quick because of Joel as well. I had reached out to Joel and I just said to him, I said, hey, I know that you're really busy. I'd sent it to him via email and I said, I know you're really busy. I just have a quick question. If you got a second, I'm curious how I should go about promoting my YouTube channel without, you know, being a jerk about it. And the guy had the audacity to not even, like, he didn't even reply to my email. All he did was post it to his Facebook page, and we went from like 30 to 120 overnight.
Yeah, I think we were a little over 100, I think, when Joel did that. No, it wasn't. It was beforehand. You're right. Because we were like
one of your friends has just walked in my studio. Do you want to see him?
Yeah.
You see him?
That's Glenn's buddy.
That's Walter's brother.
That's right. He's your buddy.
That's his younger brother.
That's my older brother. What the hell are you talking about?
Sorry, I had to. Sorry.
See, Ben, you want to pick on some folks too. See, you know, it would go over a lot better, Ben, if people could understand what you were saying.
Oh, here we go. Well, that makes two of us because I have no idea what you two are talking about.
Oh, and you don't have any idea. Wait till I get a few beers in me and the Southern really comes out.
It gets worse than it already is.
Oh, you have no idea.
Somebody's put Swamp Guy Barney.
Swamp Guy Barney.
Swamp Guy Barney. I see you, Sean Gould. I see how you are.
Wow. Wexter says he's getting 50 to 60 subs a day the past 2 weeks.
Wow.
That is amazing.
Who is that?
Wexter.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Stephen Lightspeed just said, remember that time Ben did the Pledge of Allegiance in American accent? That was the best. Yep. We need to have that again.
Well, it doesn't have to be the pledge, but Ben, you have to do an American accent.
I'll tell you what, Ben. Instead of just, he's got his mic muted.
Oh, he quit. He's done. He's done. He's like, screw these guys.
Hey, instead of doing just an American accent, he's got to do mine.
Oh, an American country accent?
Yes, an American country accent.
That may just cause him to have a brain aneurysm.
It might. You got to sound like me.
when we were at Farts, the dinner that we had during the Orlando Maker Fair, Raul, who we call Raj, who is very Indian, he did an American accent and like nailed it spot on. Because like every time he would talk, it would make me laugh, and I told him, I said, "You sound just like Raj from Big Bang," and he's like, "Really? Is it that bad?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." So then I was doing my Indian accent, which I'm not going to do, and he was going to film it, and I'm like, "No, let's not do that because I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way, you know." And so then he did an American accent. It was like spot on, and I'm like, "That's pretty amazing."
But you know, it's really funny because you say do an American accent or do a British accent, because even the UK, as small as it is, there are so many different accents in the UK.
Different dialect, right?
Yeah, and so many ones in the United States. I mean, even in the South, it is the accents are completely different because you face it, man. If you get much, well, even as far south as you are. You get much further south than you are, all country accents go away.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even where I am, it's not real common here.
Right. And you're further south than I am, so there's a place in Florida where the South stops.
Yeah, I think it's the Georgia line.
No, it's not. That's where I live. Crack ahead.
It's the Georgia line and the Panhandle.
Well, there you go. The Panhandle would be it. But I would say the cut. You'd have to include Gainesville because you get outside of Gainesville. But I mean, you got to kind of cut that line in a shape down in Central Florida. You know, it's not just like a straight line across.
Right.
There you go. Bob Smith got it right. North Florida is like the South, and South Florida is like the North.
Oh, South Florida is like Cuba.
Robert Hudson, that would be incorrect, my friend. My ancestors got off the boat in North Carolina, and I am 7th generation Floridian. So,
yeah, I don't know where my ancestors came in at, but a bulk of them were from Alabama and Tennessee, and then ended up in Minnesota, which is where I'm from.
It's really funny because I did our family trees, right, and my mom's family and my dad's family were probably 5 miles apart in North Carolina. That's where they initially settled at. And that was, 5 or 6 or 7 generations before them,
Did they loop around at any point?
I don't know. You know what I mean? So I don't have any idea. Somebody posted a picture the other day. And I have a different one. Mine is different. They showed, everybody thinks their family tree is this beautiful, nice, bushy tree or whatever. Mine's like this. got like one fork on it or something.
All Yanks are Scandinavian or British.
Hyperbole, of course, right?
And I'm surprised you don't say "a" at the end of your statement. I'm not Canadian. I'm from Minnesota. Minnesota.
Hey, that's close enough, man.
Take off A, you hoser.
You go to North Minnesota, they say A at the end.
But I'm not from northern Minnesota. I'm from just outside of Minneapolis.
You're one of them damn Yankees we have down here in Florida.
That's right. My parents came to Florida so my dad could go to work for Disney World, and he never worked for Disney World. He wasn't Disney material when we got here. And then
I don't know what the printer's doing. It's just decided to stop right there.
It just stopped?
It just stopped right in the middle of a transition.
Well, maybe it's thinking. Maybe it's doing the math.
I'll leave it a minute. If it doesn't do anything, I'll turn it off.
Oh, hopefully it's trying to catch up.
Yeah, the PVA stopped extruding anyway, so it's probably best if I do turn it off.
3D Print Creator, I do not have anything printing right now. In fact, I did. I was going to say I didn't even plug the Prusa back in when I got home, but I did. I got it signed. I was excited to have. I almost tackled Joseph as he was walking down the aisle. I was finally sitting down. It was on Sunday, right? I was finally sitting down for a minute, and I was eating a taco, like an old cold Taco Bell taco. And all of a sudden here he's coming, and I go to get up to ask him to sign my printer, and my legs gave out, you know, at my age. And I almost fell like right into him. And then I have taco in my mouth, and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And he looks at me, I kid you not, he looks at me and he goes, what? And I'm like, will you please sign my printer?
Oh,
it reminded me of that episode of The Simpsons where he's like, where Homer's lost in the woods and he ends up in the tar pit and his mouth's all stuck and he's like, wah, wah, wah. That's kind of how I felt. So, but you know, Uncle Ron was running backup for me. He's like blocking the aisle so Joseph can't walk by. I'm like, wow.
So, Glenn, did you get enough filament to keep you printing for a year?
I got a pretty decent amount. Xander gave some of it away. He gave some of it away to drag. Yeah. He's a Nerf YouTuber that was there.
Yeah.
So Xander gave him a couple of rolls, but it's never an issue to get filament. Filament's the one thing that I'm gifted with all the time. I'm not saying it's not appreciated. It's always appreciated. Which I want to mention too.
Later,
my birthday's coming up. Fun King's birthday's coming up.
Oh, I was fixing to say, your birthday's after mine, and mine ain't coming up no time soon.
Yeah, no, mine's on Christmas. No, my birthday's already passed. But the 27th, which is what, 3 weeks? 3 weeks from yesterday.
Yeah.
But I would like to bogart the stream on the 28th to be my birthday stream.
Okay.
And as of this time, and I don't want to say who it is yet, but a very generous person has stepped up with a printer to give away.
Sweet.
So I do have a printer I'm going to be giving away so far. I haven't started to reach out for other sponsorships yet, but I'm sure that we'll come up with some other things. So Carl said, "Oh my God, my Twitter is blowing up. I think I've got a faster beat going than Ben's printer with notifications."
Well, at least it's a little bit quieter now.
True. Robert Hudson and Do Earth, man. I'm going to do my best to be there. That's for sure.
Well, I really didn't think I was going to make it. And then my wife met James's wife and they decided we're going to Earth. So yeah. Yay!
I'm going to tell you right now, Miss Kay was one of the highlights of Murph.
Absolutely. She is a wonderful lady. She's
a lovely person.
My wife hasn't stopped talking about her since we got back. But, yeah, I understand that James called his parents, his mom, and said, because Earth is on Canadian Thanksgiving, and he's like, well, I'm not coming home for Thanksgiving.
I actually gave away 2 spools of filament myself. I gave away a spool of Repcord's Purple Haze and the printed solid. I don't know the name of that purple they gave away, the Jesse's filament. But I gave away 2 rolls of purple filament, and I also sent a teacher a 3D pen when I got back.
Nice.
I had told her I would send one. She wanted one for her class, and I actually got on Amazon and ordered a different one than the one I have here because I only have 2 here. One of those is for my granddaughter. One of those is for me to keep. But the one I ordered on Amazon had like 12 different colored filaments in it, and it used the normal PLA. This stuff that I've got with this pen is a lot more flexible, and it melts at a lot lower temperature than PLA.
Yeah. Well, I seen that cheapy 3D pen that I got from Gearbest, which they're out of stock. It's on Amazon, and now it's down to like $25. So,
yeah, I think the one I got was $29 prime.
Carl said that I better make sure to let Chris at IRF know. I will definitely do that because I'm a diva. I have to have special, accommodations, right? I have one of those lists that says like M&Ms, but only green ones.
Hey, Carl did tell me the other day that same row that we were on.
Yeah.
On the front and the rear is now bronze sponsors, $100.
Yeah.
Per table.
Well, I haven't. I got to get with Chris and figure out because of my setup. I may shoot for a wall spot.
Yeah, are we going to try to do what we did at Murph with the Fun in the Country Basement? Because I'm going to sponsor a table this year too at IRF.
Well, I mean, the Fun in the Country Basement will go every time, regardless of whether we have a dedicated table or not.
I know that, but
I mean, like that banner will always fly.
Right.
So. You need it as a flag.
As a flag? Well, you could. We just pin it on one side instead of two. But somebody had asked. 10 Halt. I think I got that right. 10 Halt 2015 said, "What would be more fun? Give my MK2S a buddy, MK3S, or get a pallet too?" And that would really, like, my opinion, it would depend on what you need. Do you need a second printer or an additional printer? I mean, if you already have enough printers, then I would go for the pallet. If you don't already have some form of multi-material. Tony said, "Don't wait. There was talk about that today at the Printed Solid meetup."
What was there talk about? The sponsoring of a table?
I don't know.
I don't either. Chris had actually said he might want me to set up at the top and do the stream from there and be the official stream of IRF.
Set up on the balcony?
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be crazy.
That way I can have a shot down over the thing. And then if we do interviews or whatever, we actually have a place that's out of the walkways and all that other stuff. Yeah, Halt, why don't you sponsor that?
He said, "Yep, get the tables. Get in touch with Chris."
Yeah, sponsor me and the one.
The thing is, though, is they're really good about communicating. I can't imagine that there's too much going on without the people knowing yet. So he's just trying to get you away from his booth.
Hardman, my Discord link is actually in the description of this video, so I do have a Discord. I'm just not very good at getting on it, but there's normally people there. So
I don't use Facebook either. I'm really bad about I have a Facebook for Fun King 3D, but I'm really bad about updating it.
Me too. We use Twitter a lot though.
Yeah.
What do we think of Prusa's new resin printer? I'll tell you, man, it prints really well, just like most resin printers do. Now there are advancements on it that I wish mine had, and that's that tilting bed to release the suction on the model. That is one awesome thing. And other than that, I don't know much more about the technology that they put in it. I know it's a DLP, just like the one I have here. Glenn should be finding out about those soon, I think.
Yeah, I haven't opened mine yet. I really know nothing about resin printing. So
paper towels and alcohol are your friend.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing it all in the garage.
I think that's a good idea.
I don't know if I even want to bring that thing up into my house.
I understand that.
Plus, it's a net printer.
Yeah, well. Yeah, I've got the Delta shaped fire starter still sitting over there. I'm going to do an unboxing tomorrow afternoon.
But has any of their other printers ever caused a problem other than the A8?
Well, see, and that's the thing. I think that they're trying to do better on their hardware. I really do. After talking with the guy there, and I think that's why they showed up at Murph, was to show off the what they're trying to do. Now they do need to figure out their GPL stuff. They absolutely,
yeah, absolutely. But I truly believe that the bulk of that is a language barrier. And somebody had said, culture barriers. Sorry, culture barrier as well.
Well, I think that part of it, Glenn, is just like Creality had. They get a third party to do their firmware, and they don't understand what the third party's cutting out.
Right.
And I think that's getting lost.
So, but I said that, and I still want to call them ANET, but they corrected me multiple times that it's ANET.
ANET. That's Robbie Mac's wife's name, so I wouldn't call him that. It'll always be ANET.
But I believe that they were there for one of two reasons. Either they truly want to be part of the community and they want to develop that relationship with the community, which is, I'm hoping, is why they were there, or that their sales have dropped off so bad after the A8 was no longer the hot go-to printer. Because I'm sorry, that used to be the printer. As soon as somebody came into the scene and said, hey, I'm new to 3D printing, what should I buy? And immediately everybody's like, A8, buy an A8, because they were so cheap.
Right.
So now it's not the go-to printer anymore. I'm sure that their sales have dropped off significantly.
I think people tend to go for like Ender 3 now, don't they? So
yeah, that's kind of the new hot. I'm new to 3D printing. What should I buy? Buy the Ender 3. Buy the Ender 3. Buy the Ender 3. It was
great machine.
Yeah, well, it's the CR10. Everybody was pushing the CR10 real hard for a while. So
I got a Ender 3 off eBay for £110. It was an absolute bargain. It was already assembled and everything. I just literally had to put the spool holder on. That was it.
Wow.
And yeah, it's absolutely immaculate condition. And the guy was just getting rid of it because he was getting something else. So, I've had some great prints off that.
Yeah, they seem to be doing well. Tom Llama, who knows? But I will tell you guys that ANET offered me one of three options. They offered me the I'm looking for my ANET book. They offered me the
book. He's got a book.
Oh, I have a book, yeah. Because again, language barrier was hard. Like even with the translator, it was really hard to communicate. And then it was that guy, was the communicator, who went outside to find the printer and left me with the owner of ANET, who spoke very little English. So he was trying to teach me some Chinese, but okay, so the N4, I'll pop over to here. The N4 is the one that I ended up getting. But it was a choice between the N4. I see that they have an A8 Plus now.
They had an A8 Plus there. They had an E16, I think it was there.
Yep. They offered me the A10, which is the Delta. That's the one that you got, wasn't it?
That's the one I got, yes.
Look at you two with your catalogs.
Which I should have taken the Delta, but I really wanted to give resin a try. And then the E16, and as soon as he opened the book to the E16, I immediately, like, he's flipping and he's holding it like this, and I went, no, not that one. But then of course, I mean, because looking at it, it looks just like the E12.
Yeah,
I don't know if the bed size is bigger on it.
I don't know that color combination. When I saw it, I'm like, no, Glenn's got one of those. No, it's a 3x3x4.
Yeah, it's the same thing as the E12.
Yeah, and if you go on back, they have an E12 Plus.
Yeah. So, and then like my thought later was maybe I should have taken that just for the parts to make something else out of it. But with as much trouble as I had with Taserface, which was the E12, which now Tom Llama has, I was like, nah, I don't want to do that again. So, but I'll give them a fair try. But I explained to him that if it sucks, I'm going to say it sucks.
See, and I told him when he handed me, because I didn't go back there at the end to ask for the printer. I went back there to, say hey to Al. And I told the ANET guys, I said, I look forward to working with you. I can't wait to get my hands on that Delta printer. And he's like, oh, you want to take it now? I'm like, Sure, I'll take it now.
Well, I went back there because you said they gave it to me now. So I walked back there and started showing them pictures of my AM8 because they had asked for pictures. I had pulled them up the night before.
Right.
And what's really funny is if you look at that printer, if you didn't know that was an A8, you'll never know that was an A8. There is nothing left on that that's A8 other than the print bed and the extruder.
Right.
Everything else has been reprinted. I mean, like the smooth rods and stuff and the motors, but you don't know that. And so they were like, "Oh, very custom," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, it works really good now."
So now you're still running the ANET board on it, right? That's
I am, but I have that Geektech 2650 or 2560, whichever way that goes, that I got from Chris Riley, and I'm thinking about slipping that in there.
Yeah.
This is okay. It's running the board that you gave me. Yeah. But every so often it just freaks out. Like I'll run 2 or 3 prints and it's okay. And then not during the print, just like all of a sudden, like the screen goes to all garbage characters. Looks like the Matrix. So like I have to power cycle it in between every few prints.
Well, I was just reading the Delta has power off resume. Didn't know that. So that's a good feature. But
Patrick Neanoff said, "No, Glenn, that would be the end of my legacy on your AM8 because the case that the main board is in was designed by Patrick Neanoff. Like I didn't even realize it. I had downloaded it and printed it out, and then he's like, "Hey, I designed a case for it," and sent me a link. I'm like, "That's the one I printed."
Well, I told them when they gave it to me, I said, "Look, I am going to do this live. So if it fails, it will fail live. There's no sugarcoating it on my end."
What was
and really, then he's like, then he started backpedaling on giving it to me. And Al stepped up and said, "No, he'll live stream it on my Facebook too. I'm not going to live stream it on his Facebook, but I will put a link there." So
it was really funny when you said to him that we were going to do them together on a live stream, and then he was like, "No, 2."
I know. It's like, no, we want the separate coverage. But you know, I'm hoping that it works well, because if so, the thing is they weren't that cheap. That's what I didn't understand, because they kept telling me over and over that this Delta was a beginner's level printer. Okay. Because it comes assembled. It's completely assembled, ready to go in the box.
Okay.
So it's a beginner's level. You take it out of the box. You got to, the thing is you got to plug in the auto leveling thing. And Al told me you have to be really careful when plugging it in, because one little screw up and it's shot. But awesome. It does auto level, and it should be ready to go out of the box. The filament is self-contained in the top, so I mean it's a nice looking little printer. What's the build volume on the Delta? Hold on, I'll pull it up and I'll let you know. Let me open the book here. It says 190 by 190.
Is that similar to the Monoprice one?
No, the Monoprice Mini is 110 by 110.
All right. So it's really
you get another 8 centimeters. This thing's a lot bigger than the Monoprice Mini. A lot bigger. What does it say? The product dimensions are 295. It's 588 millimeters tall.
That's pretty good size.
I don't think the Monoprice Mini Delta is like, it's about half that size, which is really weird. If that's 110 by 110, I don't know how that ANET's only 190, because it's way bigger, way bigger. Removable heating bed. So it's got a heated bed you can remove. What's up, Robbie Mack? You are correct.
Robbie Mack finally decides to join us.
But that's not correct, because I got a poople head.
Patrick Neanoff said it's extra space for the fire.
There you go. I didn't bring it over here because it's over on my mantle right now. I put it up on one of my shelves in my living room. But I don't know, Ben, if you saw it or not, but that bobblehead Robbie made was
I did see it. Yeah, impressive.
Yeah, it was impressive. He did a great job on the paint for sure.
He did.
And he took. Can't leave Llama out because that was the Walter head that Llama did. So
don't you find that like at Murph, you coming across like, I hope I'm going to put this across the right way, like silent superstars, if that makes sense. Like Carl, for example, you know, he's like brought this printer and now bam, you know, it's like exploded for him, you know?
That's exactly right, because that's exactly what happened to me last year. I took the printed printer in and it was like, bam, everybody wanted to see it. And then he's got that, you know, and I have to say, and not because I like Carl, but I have to say that as far as innovations or new products or new things at Murph, his and Glenn's were really the two that stood out to me. And Glenn's not so much because I'd seen it at Gainesville, so I'd already seen it. But Carl's to me was the standout printer at Murph. To me, now Glenn's was freaking awesome as well because it's just so damn big. But that belt printer, I mean, he really did. I don't know how to say this because I'm not trying to belittle Glenn's because it's fantastically built too, but I'm kind of like, it didn't look like a printer you could just build in your house.
He's done something. He's done something as well to assist the market, though, hasn't he? Because like Black Belt, as good as it is, it's very unaffordable for a lot of the.
Yeah, they're like, $10,000.
Well, yeah, and not everybody's got that, and that's the price of a car or a yearly holiday for a couple of vacations or whatever. For a lot of people, and that's a massive like chunk of equity to be putting into a printer that could be failing or whatever. And to say that there's not that many of them out there, and I've seen it live, it's a great looking machine. But then for Carl to do what he did and then make it like really affordable, that's kind of saying, well, actually, you don't need to spend all this money. And look how amazing it is as well. I mean, he's done a fantastic job.
Yeah, my thing is, I mean, he said the cost would come in probably a little bit above $2,000 is what it would take to build one, what he's got in that one. If you just sat down and did it, not iteration after iteration, but if you just sat down, used his building materials and built it, it'd be right about $2,000. Okay.
Yeah.
That's friggin' awesome that you can build that printer for that.
Well, and hopefully by it coming out in kit form and then the materials being bought in bulk, might even be able to tune that down even tighter.
Well, see, I don't know anything about Black Belt, but how big is their printer actually?
I don't know. I'll tell you. Hang on.
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly large.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because Carl's was way larger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I want to say the Black Belt, like I want to say like the platform is like 3 or 4 feet long. It's pretty big. I mean, they're printing running boards and stuff for cars, and
so they've got one with like a
support. It's 300 by 300.
Well, it's technically 300 by as long as you want it to be. I guess 300 by 300 by
Right.
I got
340 by 340 is a Black Belt.
Oh, that's not as big as I thought it was.
And Carl, what is yours?
300 by 300, he said.
Oh, I don't think that. I think he was answering the Black Belt thing.
And they've got like a support roller table, which I guess, Carl's could add that on as well,
Yeah, his is 400 by 430, so his is actually bigger than the Black Belt.
Awesome.
It's a lot of boxes, isn't it?
But he's also talking about doing a Squire size. Instead of doing the White Knight, it would be a Squire size, which is smaller and would be less money. So, $1,500, you'll get a smaller one, but I mean, you're still unlimited on the Y or whatever axis Z.
Yeah.
I think it's actually the Z on the belt, right?
3D Print Creator says, I'm curious how long that infinite part is. I mean, if I want to make something that is 2 meters, it can't be done in one piece, I think. Actually, it can.
Actually, it can, yeah.
You just have to make sure that you support it when it's coming off the print bed. You'll want to support it onto a table or a roller or something so that you don't have the weight of it just hanging off of there. But
well, and Carl also has an open source roller that goes on the end of it that extends it for that purpose.
yeah, so I mean, as long as you're holding the weight up so that it's not going to pop itself off the bed, I mean, it's going to be plenty strong to push the part. I mean, I guess at some point you're going to hit it. Like, you know, if you try to print something a mile long, it's not going to do it because at some point it'll get too heavy and the bed's not going to push it anymore. But
Carl said no, he don't, but I did see him have a roller support thing. He might not have designed it, but he did have one. And Robert Hudson said you can get roller supports from Harbor Freight.
absolutely.
Yes, you can.
Absolutely.
So, and as long as you have as low a friction as possible, that belt's actually pretty strong and it doesn't move very fast. So it's not trying to move quickly. So that slow moving, it should be able to push that part quite a long way.
Yeah.
So, but now I will say that the FK1, just being a big ass printer, was still friggin' cool because
you
for
don't
me,
have to suck up to me. I know you like Carl's printer better.
No, I did like Carl's better. It was prettier. It was lit up, had linear rails on it. I mean, come on, man. But my thing is, it's one of those things where you have to say, okay, I can spend, I don't know, $1,500 building Glenn's big printer or $2,000, whatever it is.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't want to know yet.
Or, and you know, then because you're set to a fixed size, but that's one massive friggin' size.
Right.
Okay, there's nothing that I've printed on my TiVo Little Monster or any other printer that wouldn't fit on your printer. Okay, there's nothing that I've had in my mind that wouldn't fit on your printer. See, Carl's to me would be great for me getting ready for Murph because I could put one of IC3D's 10 kilogram rolls behind it,
yeah,
and say, okay, now make me all the friggin' maker coins I'm going to need for Murph,
right,
and just let it run and run and run and run. And but that little thing that he had that scraping stuff off the bed, that was awesome,
right.
Hey, listen here, Britt Hawks 3DP. The Earth is flat, bud. There is no curvature to the Earth. It would just go on, and then it would just break off and fall off into nothingness.
No, eventually it would run into the Arctic wall that surrounds.
That's right, the Arctic wall. That's what it was. I forgot.
Not this again. Martin said he'd print one big ass landscape because he had a palette on there, didn't he, as well?
Yes, he did. I actually got one of those. Let me pull it out. I've got one. I took it off the bed. It was stuck to the bed. I had to go steal it because he wasn't going to give me one.
Well, you're just giving him the evidence now.
He just wanted me to have that one right there, the old purple one. Hold on, it's in this bag right here. There it is.
Here you go, everybody. If you're missing something, Walter's got it.
There's one with the palette right there. So I have the palette one as well. So I have them both. I really got to put the stickers up on my wall. And I found Shay's sticker today. When I dumped my bag out, it had fell on the floor. I didn't show off Shay's sticker, but I got it. That's right, a life-size island. Martin said he'd print one big-ass landscape.
Matt, Jake from State Farm says, but with the cost, do you really need a duet and mosquito, etc.? Why wouldn't you want a duet and a mosquito?
Well, listen to this, guys. I've got this in the works. As y'all know, I have the Mosquito Magnum on my table here somewhere right there. I've got the Mosquito Magnum, and I am talking to Zesty Nimble about getting talking to Zesty about getting a Nimble for my TiVo Little Monster so that it'll no longer be a Bowden system. It will be a direct drive with a Zesty Nimble on it. They already have the Nimble mount for the TiVo. Now we just have to modify it to hold a Magnum, and I will be in business.
I haven't even looked into that Zesty Nimble yet. It makes me chuckle every time I say Zesty Nimble.
I was talking to them at Murph several times. They actually came to me first and were talking to me about it. because of the Bowden system on the Hypercube.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, well, that's not what I would want to replace. I want to replace the one on the TiVo, because the TiVo, I think that lighter head will help with speed. And then the retraction on the TiVo right now is at 7.5 millimeters. That's a crazy amount of retraction.
Yeah, I was going to say that seems excessive.
It is. But if you go down to 6 or whatever, you have glob strings. It's not even just like stringing. It's like just globs of filament. It's crazy. Andrew S. said Carl could print my diorama. Actually, Glenn could print my diorama on his bed too.
How often do you have the FK1 running, Glenn?
Say again?
How often do you have the FK1 running, Glenn?
It runs. Well, I mean, right now it's not because I just got back and I'm still tired and stuff. But I run it pretty much every day, just trying to get things tuned and dialed in and stuff on it. But it's gonna take a little break as I order in some parts, because I'm going from dual lead screw to 4 lead screw so that I can auto level the gantry that holds the X and Y carriages. Because bed leveling is such a pain when you get into that big of a bed. So, but yeah, I'm working with a couple of people that are a lot smarter than me. Joe from Project Red mainly, and we're going to use.
Is that the rail car company?
He's the one that, they build the rail cores to sell,
right?
But we had originally talked about using proximity sensors, inductance sensors for leveling the carriage. And then he sent me a DM the night after I got home, I think it was, and said, what do you think about using optical switches? And I thought, well, that's genius, because I can have the blade break that sensor before the nozzle hits the bed, but yet then it can still go down further so that the printer can print without the bed, without the nozzle crashing. So it's going to have to go through a little bit of redesign as far as putting a sensor in each 4 corners. And then that's where the DuX came in, because that's giving me 5 more stepper drivers, which will allow me to run the 4 independently. So that should take all of the guesswork out of the leveling. I mean, it run 1 macro and the thing will be level. So
nice. And I just noticed you have one of my stickers behind you.
I do. That's the one that you mailed me.
I did.
So yeah, it's
I haven't put any of the stickers that I've got up anywhere. They're just kind of sat somewhere.
Well, that's it. I got boxes of them. I'm a little behind putting stuff up, but I want to change this back wall anyway. Ever since Joel put that nice stained wood on this wall behind him, I'm thinking, my wall looks so boring.
Yeah. I was wondering what to do with this back wall, and then I got this metal hawk made.
Nice.
And then shelves and maker coins up there. And
yeah, well, you got to have shelves to show off the stuff. And then what I do is anytime I go to a show, we end up taking the stuff off the shelf. And then when I come home, that's when I take the opportunity to kind of cycle through. Certain things get put back up no matter what. But, this now will always be, always be on my shelf, because my printer is an award-winning printer. Carl, does your printer have an award? My printer has an award.
He's not responding.
He's probably busy responding to all of his tweets. But no, this is so much fun. This was awesome. So technically, it was the print that got the award, the failure, but that failure came off the FK1. So, and I won this lovely burned out Creality board. This was my should have won best in show, but they didn't do that category. Woulda, shoulda, coulda.
How's that
New York Maker Fair?
How's that CR10S, Glenn? Is that what's behind you? CR10S Pro?
Yeah, the 10S Pro. I like it. The bed leveling on it is horrific.
Right.
Like you'll set the bed leveling and it'll be fine. It'll print fine, and then you'll go to print again, and it's gone. It's lost the bed leveling. So you have to level it every time. I've watched a video, and I'm going to apologize right now. I can't remember whose video it was, but he replaced the sensor on there with the one that's on there is a capacitive, and he replaced it with an inductive. Because I noticed, like, I went to grab the filament, like it was coming down the level, and I went to grab that little strand of filament off of there, and it detected my finger. So then it thought it was leveled this high off the bed.
Right.
So then I started to look into it, and I thought, well, that's definitely an issue. Yeah. So I ordered an $8 sensor, and so I'll get that replaced here pretty quick, and that should help. And then I believe it's Tim Hooglin that has
it's 3D.
Yeah. He's got a different firmware. They've monkeyed up some firmware for it. So
right.
Somebody told me, I'm trying to find it. Said that they did 7 millimeters. Yeah, John Cook said he does 7 millimeters on his Bowden pull. I've got to cut mine down. I think that's part of what's problem with the this stopping feeding every 15 or 20. Just pulls back one time too many.
Your stream just got really, really choppy.
Yeah.
Like you went into slow motion mode. You were like, it pulls back one time too many.
And then it was very robotic.
I make my own sensors with an optocoupler and a flag. Works perfect all the time. We'll be on Thingiverse soon.
I'll let Walter read that one, Patrick. He's talking. Does he know he's muted?
Is he muted?
I think so.
Oh, excellent. That means the rest of the stream is going to be wonderful. I think his mic died because I think that's what was causing me. Oh, yeah. No, he's taking the batteries out of it. So now we can say all the stuff that we want about him, and he can't kick back till he gets the batteries back in there. Walter's back to using stop motion photography.
Walter ran out of batteries.
His battery died. Almost so did Walter. At his age, it could happen any day.
Oh.
Actually, I don't think it was my batteries. I think I just took them out and replaced them without looking. But I think it was because the mic actually came unplugged when I leaned back just a minute ago. I unplugged the microphone from it. So, and I did read Matt Patrick's. I read it, but nobody could hear me. And I was trying to get the screen to swap over, and it never would. And I was like, "Why is my screen not swapping over?" But now I know.
It cut out right as I said, "Look at this, Walter," and then you couldn't read it.
Right. Yeah, no, I get it. My stream is actually better now. I'm looking at it over here, and it's pretty good now.
Sean Butler said ancient Egyptian batteries, lemon juice, and copper pins.
Hey, yeah. Hey, man.
Walter's batteries are clay pots and lemon juice.
Man, if I can get that to work, I can get anything to work.
Walter's using those old Ever-Ready batteries with the 9 cat on them.
Time to upgrade from the old Egyptian batteries.
Yeah. I think I'd rather have the do away with the tin cup and string that I use for internet.
How's your new setup going, Walter, since you kind of moved into this studio that you've got now?
It's fine, man, but you know, it's really funny how little room I have in here, even though I haven't even brought all the stuff out of my other room over to here.
Right.
And have a bigger space. I don't get it. And I think one thing I'm going to do is kind of like what Glenn was talking about. I'm going to take, there's a bed platform in the bedroom in there. I'm going to take that down and just make it flat floor. Right. And I'm actually going to move my printers, I think, into there and redo this back wall. And that'll give me some room. And I really need to reorganize because I had to disconnect all of my cameras and microphone and everything to take it with me to Murph. So I'm just now getting it back up today or yesterday when I did my stream yesterday. I got it back up and running, and it's not a lot of room in here. It's kind of cramped in here too.
Well, that's when I first got home from Murph and I came up here, it was like amazing. There was so much space up here with that printer out of here and all the tables out of here and all the totes out of here. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And then the printer actually stayed. It was in the crate still, but it was in the garage for a couple of nights, and it was really bugging me. So I had to bring. So I shifted a bunch of stuff. The shelf that I used to have over here that just had a bunch of random stuff on it is now in front of me, and the FK1 is in its new home. I'll see if I can wing this around, give you guys a little preview of my Junkerama. So it now lives over here in this corner. So, and that's next to me. Here's camera inception.
You're going to take that to Earth, right?
Yes, sir.
And then that will just about be the last time you're going to travel with it, or what?
Orlando Maker Fair this year again.
Okay.
In November, and then that will probably be the last show that it goes to.
You got to take it to Gainesville, so it'll be at least printing there.
Actually, that I might do just because I like supporting those guys. Right.
Hey, Robert Hudson, I'm not going to moon you, but I do have something for you. There you go, right there.
Hey,
this is my stream. Watch it.
Doesn't matter. Fun in the Kuntry Basement is supposed to be family friendly.
Well, it is.
Earth is in October. I can't remember the exact dates, but it's in October.
12th and 13th, isn't it?
Yeah. I believe so.
Not that I've been looking into it or anything, you know.
I don't know. We're all looking up Earth now, right?
No, I'm DMing with Chris about sponsor tables. So,
and Chris is asking who's this imposter on the stream. Oh no, it's not the Chris Riley. It's the other Chris, I imagine.
October 12th through the 13th, 2019, at the APG Federal Credit Union Arena at Hartford Community College in Bel Air, Maryland. I put an E on the end of it in the chat a while ago. There's no E.
E.
No ticket sales yet. It's on the Eventbrite website or EastCoastRepRapFestival.com event detail site, but there's no link to buy tickets yet. So, nope, not yet. Now, on here, it says that Saturday we get to get in at 9. Or it says Saturday, June. Wait, this is last year's. This is not this year's. I thought we got in there Friday night, or was it just early Saturday morning?
No, setup was Friday night because I didn't get there until 5 p.m. Yeah, it was Friday day sometime, but I didn't get there until 5 o'clock Friday night.
Yeah, I think because on here it doesn't even show Friday night. It only shows Saturday morning. It said that the sponsor and exhibitor early entry and setup was 10 a.m. or 9 to 10, and then the doors open to attendees at 10:30.
Yeah, that's not a time to set up. But I will tell you that that Chris sent me information, and he said the bronze sponsor tables, which are the 2 end rows, not the perimeter, just the 2 end rows. It is $100 for the table, and it's guaranteed. But he said it's just the table, no booth drapes or wall behind it, and that I can't put my my banners up behind the table. So
really?
That's a no-go.
Wow, that's because last year you did have your banner up behind it.
I did, but somebody told me I wasn't supposed to. Oh, it's Chris, not that I wasn't supposed to, but Chris Lane from Venturi 3D said that they told him he couldn't have his banner. that he had to put his banner out in the hallway or whatever. And I'm like, well, I just put it up. But I'm the fun king. I do what I want to.
You rebel.
Well, nobody told me I couldn't. So I just
rebel king.
But, you know, I mean, nobody told me to take it down or anything, but I mean, if I can't set up my booth, then I mean, I'll bring the printer, but I'm just going to put the printer on the table. I don't know. I got to make that decision because I have a feeling that the ones around the outside. What is that noise?
I don't know. This is so weird. I'm looking at my live. I went back to my live stream, and on the events it shows, "Hey, resume your stream." I'm like, we are resumed. We are here.
Well, I think so. Carl says he's trying to get Chris in the stream now. Lester, I think the reason behind the banners not being there is because technically you're back to back with another table,
right?
And by having that in there, it kind of encroaches on the people behind you. But I want to say it was Ron, the Canadian Makerspace, that was behind me, and like when I put it up, I'm like, "Is this cool?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't have any problem with it." So, right. But you know, like. My setup is my setup. It kind of all goes together or it doesn't go. I mean, I know that sounds real diva-like, but I mean, my booth is part of my display.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Well, see, I had mine on the front of the table last year, so I didn't have a cool setup like you have.
Well, and the thing is like I don't have space behind the table and then the banner. For me, I don't stand behind the table. I stand out in front of the table.
Right.
So we generally have that little bit of buffer back behind the banners so that my wife has someplace to hide. But I don't know. I'll work it out. I don't know.
It'll all work itself out. It'll all come out in the wash. That's for sure.
Oh, you're not supposed to be doing that while you're on here.
Not while you're on the stream.
Gosh.
I can't help it. I like to do stuff like that.
The rest of these cheapskates, no, I'm just kidding.
Thanks for having me.
Woohoo! I hope that's not backwards to y'all, because it's backwards to me.
What?
What, that just showed up on my screen?
No, I didn't see anything.
Oh.
There's a little man running. Ben's bribing you.
Yeah. Ben is
bribing them with what? Yeah, I'm killing them with kindness. No, I really have a thing about this is just me. I mean, I know a lot of people do like this, but if I watch a streamer, be it on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, and I can do it, then I will tip. I mean, like even now I'm on the stream, but because like on Twitch, for example, I've really tried to have a real go at that, and I know how difficult it can be sometimes to do streaming. So you know, even if it's just $1, pound, whatever, I know how important it is to people that do stream. So you know, I think it's only until you really do it yourself that you really feel it. So that's why I do what I do. So
well, and I have to say this: it's not hard to stream, but it's hard to stream and have a good stream.
Yeah.
You know, it's like having one, you know, and then a camera up in the corner or something like that. I've been on streams where there's like 8 different views and you're like, you can't even watch that, you know?
Yeah.
So I just, and if you're doing a not like my normal country time where I'm just sitting here talking or whatever, but if you're doing a stream, like when I do the ANET tomorrow, you really want to be set up for that. You want to do that properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You want to have all your cameras set up and everything, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
And teaching yourself like OBS and Streamlabs. Like I taught myself Streamlabs. I had a bit of help from a couple of streamers, but I had no idea on what to do. And now I've got like a Stream Deck. You know, I've got decent lighting set up and put some silly LEDs in the corner. You know, and when you go on like Twitch, for example, I know it's another platform, but they really notice that you've made the effort. And I know they do on YouTube as well, but just for a bit of cross-platform information, you know, they can tell that you've really like gone out of your way to not just have a camera. You've actually thought about what you're doing, and that's important for your audience, you know.
Not me, Chris. I wasn't looking for you. They brought you in. We found all the information that we really needed.
Oh, there it is.
But you're welcome here, Chris.
We just decided that you didn't need to have a relaxing Sunday afternoon, Chris. You needed to come in and get battered around about Earth.
Right.
I'm curious why the sponsor tables are going so lickety split, and yet nobody reached out to me about it. Now I'm sad, and I'm going to cry myself to sleep on my pillow.
My thing is, though, how is anybody even buying a sponsor table when they're not even given? You can't buy them online yet. So nobody's secured a sponsorship table yet, from what I understand, what I can see.
John Butler said, "Worst part of streaming is having to clean the room before streaming. That's why you have to have a dedicated studio space that you don't use for anything else."
Yeah, I have this area just for streaming, and everywhere else is a mess.
Absolutely, that's how every streamer is. Every streamer is exactly that same way.
So I've made it. If I'm not the only one doing that.
Oh yeah, no, that you're absolutely not. I mean,
oh God, no! Like I'm, you know, I hate to share this, but that's see all my junk piled over there. Hold on, I'm going to do the same. Hold on, let me pull mine.
But Lester said that, you know, if we had a dedicated patron page just for Fun in the Country Basement, then, you know, he would support it. The problem is that we decided that we weren't going to do that, that it wasn't going to be its own entity, that we were going to share this week to week, doing just what we're doing.
You know, not only that, but then the money would go into a pot that belongs to all three of us, and then we'd have to fight over who gets it.
Chris, how do you get to the sponsorship?
Yeah, I didn't get that announcement, and that makes me sad.
Not only that, there's no link for it on the site that I can find. But anyway, let me pull mine up too. I want to pull up my camera here. I'm going to just show. This is the side of my table where I walk. There's the door where I walk in. There's shirts, trash can, move around. You see the floor. Then I come on the other side of me over here. You can see the mess. It's just a friggin' mess. That's all it is. So yeah, Ben, you're not alone.
And Chris, now that you've told me that I can't have my banner, I'm not coming. If I can't put up my banner, you don't get to see this beautiful face.
Yeah, if Fun King can't put up his banner, I'm not coming either.
Maybe he'll let you put your banner over your face. Maybe then that'll work.
then they'll let me come, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Red light. Well, you need to get cleaning, Walter.
Red light needs to come down and clean up. He wants my place cleaned up.
Why would he be mad at you, Carl? I'm the diva. Well, let me ask you, Chris. I mean, honestly, because I don't stand behind my table. So is it an issue if I put the banner up behind the printer like I had it?
Why don't you just wear it as a cape?
It's 3 4-foot banners. Well, I mean, for this, it would only be an 8-foot table, so I'd only have 2.
But Chris, I do need to know where the link is so that we can go get a sponsorship table. Because I went to the Earth website and don't see it there.
I love how we're all watching chat waiting for this answer.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's funny because really when we started this, we talked about just like that we would stream and talk to each other and ignore the chat, and that just never happened.
That don't work, man.
we only do this for the people. We don't really like one another.
Yeah, this in about 15 minutes is when you unfollow and defriend each other for a week, and then you add each other back again.
So we have to send an email to
Oh, there
talk
you
to
go.
you about a table.
Did that get to, oh, there, okay. It was held and then it got approved. I thought it got deleted.
I approved it.
You were too quick.
I try. I'm still not as old as you. I can move faster.
I don't have email on this machine, so I'm gonna put that in the group DM right now, Walter, just so that I have it for later.
Okay.
You don't have email on that machine.
Don't run anything on this machine that I don't absolutely have to, because I was having issues with it a while back, and I wasn't sure what was causing the issue, so I just never installed anything back on here.
Okay.
Turned out to be a power supply.
Not like a floppy disk problem or something.
No. I keep the floppy disks on the shelf.
Floppy disks. What was they were so strange.
I have a 5 1/4, a 3 1/2. I have a zip drive. I have the Easy 135. I can't remember who made that, but like I have all these old stuff just in case I ever need to access old information.
Teresa said we have to notice her.
Senpai.
Robert Hudson said clutter is the hallmark of a creative mind. Whatever. I'm probably the least creative person you will ever meet.
Chris said, I'm getting called to eat some dinner. I'll check back after I eat to see if y'all are still going.
We won't be doing unless you like scarf it down. We got like 16 minutes. 15 minutes.
Chris, we still love you.
We do. I emailed him.
Did you just put table?
It's on the site as well. Let me see.
There's like an inquiry form on the site, isn't there?
I'm on the East Coast Rep Rap Festival sponsors. Oh, it just sends an email. There's nowhere to pay on there. You can send your name, email address, and a message. I do see that. It says, thank you for your interest. We're in the process of making arrangements for the 2019 event. If you can't wait to be a part of it, please fill out the form below and someone will get back to you ASAP. We are Edutech. How are you, buddy? Can't wait to see those prints.
But Walter uses a Commodore 64 to stream, so he's still the oldest.
I got a VIC 20, man. I got a VIC 20. I didn't upgrade yet.
I still have my Commodore 128.
Edutech, his wife Lindsay's the one I gave the rep cord Purple Haze to. I'm still waiting to see prints on that.
I watched a video on YouTube like 2 days ago, and it was the biggest games room in the world. And this guy had everything, like Commodore 64, Super Nintendo, right up to like Xbox One, everything. And then he had another room that he'd made, and it was literally a full-on arcade. It had everything.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know how many thousands that must have cost, but then he refurbishes the arcade machines as well. It's really fascinating.
I did that years and years ago, but they got to be too expensive now. I mean, people pay entirely too much for them now.
Yeah. I'm sure he's not married. Married with kids, actually, Fortis. Yeah.
Well, I mean, everybody has to have a hobby. I mean, look at us, the amount of money that's wrapped up into this stuff, it's just, so, I mean, my kids don't get to eat every day, whatever.
Unless they want plastic.
Here, I printed you this waffle, eat it.
Oh, White Castle. I know you like White Castle. I've never had White Castle.
But in fairness, I like White Castle once a year. I think if I lived too close to one, I would burn out on it real fast. Walter, plug your ears and go, la, la, la. When they first built the Crystal near me, I ate there a lot because it was new to this area. And now just driving by there makes me nauseated.
I was telling somebody, Glenn, that Crystal and White Castle are so close in taste, the way they make their burgers and all that.
They are not. You are so wrong.
No, I'm not wrong, dude.
You are so wrong.
I actually stopped and took crystals into a White Castle.
Listen.
And ate them side by side.
Listen.
And in a blind taste test, if you get them both without onions and mustard, you couldn't tell them apart. If you got them without onions and without mustard, you couldn't tell them apart.
This summer, we're going to go on vacation together. We'll go to like Ruby Falls or something. You and your wife and me and my brood. We will do the blind taste test. I guarantee you I will tell you which one's which.
But the thing is,
without even biting into it, just based on the smell, I'll tell you which one's which.
No, you won't. No, you
Absolutely,
won't.
I will.
Because I tried that too, and they smell exactly the friggin' same.
No way.
Yes, they do.
Will you two stop arguing?
Nope.
We should be on the front porch with some tea and lemonade. It's what we should be.
Yeah, but if you're on the front porch near each other, you'd be splashing each other with it.
Well, we might.
But I'll tell you what, Ben, the day that we stop arguing, that's when you got to get worried.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing is, and it may just be my loss of sense of smell, like he just said.
Yeah.
Or my lost sense of taste from all those years of smoking. I don't know, but they taste the friggin' same to me, minus the mustard and onions.
Patrick, Walter actually lost his sense of smell back in World War I.
World War I. That's right. You are correct. That's what I was riding a horse.
Stream to White Castle, they'll sponsor Glenn Strip to Murph next year. That would be baller.
You roll up with that box of 12 sliders.
Yeah, with the paper White Castle hat on, and yeah.
You know what Llama's going to do now? He's going to Photoshop Glenn with a White Castle hat on.
I actually have a White Castle T-shirt that my dad had gotten me. He had gone in there and my dad had the gift of gab and talked him out of a trainee T-shirt. So it's got the White Castle logo and it says like trainee on the back of it and stuff. And I'm like, that's cool. I never wear it. Like it's that awesome to me that I would never want to wear it out.
Carl says they'll sponsor you, but you have to stop at every White Castle along the drive.
No problem. I have no problem with that.
Every White Castle along your route, dude.
Did you guys hear the story that I was telling yesterday that I had asked Google to take me to the nearest White Castle and it took me to the manufacturing plant?
Yeah. I called you. Remember, I was on the phone when that happened.
Oh yeah, that was when I was at. Yeah, we finally made it to the one that was in the gas station. You know, here, there's that's the White Castle manufacturing plant in. It was in Val something, Ohio.
But see, that's
please tell me you went in.
It was there was like a keypad on the door and stuff. It wasn't any type of a visitor center.
All right.
No, that's where they actually slaughter the cows to make the burgers.
Well, yeah, I was going to show you. Let me pull this up, and I'll show you the crystals one because it's really amazing that you did that. Here's the hold on, I can't get the damn thing up. I got a picture of the crystals one up right here. Come on, where's my screen share? There it is. There's the that's where Crystal Burgers start. Right there.
You're talking about the patties that they drop, right?
Yeah, right. That would be both of them.
Yeah, this is the White Castle in London, Kentucky.
See, there's not enough burgers on that plate. I had more burgers on my plate just for me.
That was just mine. The kids just hadn't gotten to the table yet. No, I can make it through about 9 of them before I'm completely stuffed and can't.
That's me. If I eat more than 9, I'm hurting when I get back in the truck.
Yeah, and then
they're like sliders, aren't they?
Yeah, they're just the little square. Yeah. Well, in fact, that's where the term sliders came from, was White Castle.
From White Castle.
So,
from that movie.
According to you, sliders would have come from crystals because it slides right out the bottom end once you eat them.
Well, so does White Castle.
Right.
That is the one thing they have in common. But this was the White Castle where we ate for lunch on the way home, which was in a gas station, which they had like 3 employees working. Took forever. So, and then this was back in London on the way home. And wearing my Gear Down for What shirt there. But yeah, we were I mean, twice in one day. I couldn't believe that Priscilla like agreed to that. I'm like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "It's fine." And I'm like, "Yeah."
Well, see, Regina didn't know they had regular burgers at both of them, at White Castle and at Crystal's. So she's always leery of going because she doesn't like Crystal's or White Castle burgers.
What do you
She
mean
doesn't like the
regular
sliders.
burgers?
What's that?
What do you mean regular burgers?
Well, they have regular size burgers you can buy at White Castle.
Like a 4 ounce or whatever it is.
Full size chicken sandwiches,
I didn't
chicken
know that.
strips. Oh yeah, it's all in there.
Well, I know they have chicken strips, and White Castle has those chicken rings, which are really good. But
I guess, man, but you can't get much more processed chicken than chicken rings.
hey, whatever.
You're just making me hungry now.
Well, I will tell you, Ben, that you cannot compare it to Chick-fil-A chicken.
I've never had that either.
Oh
What's
yeah,
that?
no, there is no better chicken sandwich than Chick-fil-A.
I disagree.
Never had Chick-fil-A or White Castle or this Crystals that you're talking about. I think, like, yeah, it's a good 5 or 6 years since I was in the States last, and we were nowhere near anywhere that did any of those. So,
Well, you need to come to Earth in October, and we'll make sure we correct that.
Sean Butler's got you, buddy. Build an enclosure for the FK1 that looks like a White Castle.
I'll build a custom trailer that looks like a White Castle.
Yeah, the White Castle 3D printer.
So, who would you say has a better chicken sandwich, Walter?
Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich is better than Chick-fil-A to me. Because
not
one thing I don't like,
tower.
but I don't like Chick-fil-A's. Their batter is too sweet for me.
Interesting.
I like spicy chicken sandwich. Now they do have a good spicy chicken sandwich at Chick-fil-A, but the way that they do it.
If you get the Chick-fil-A spicy chicken and then you have the pepper jack cheese put on it,
oh yeah, it's good.
Ooh, that's hot.
The problem I have with Chick-fil-A is the way they steam their buns or whatever. When they put it on their chicken, it makes the top and bottom of their chicken soggy, and it aggravates me. I like that one at Wendy's is so crispy. When you bite into it, it's crunch and juicy. It's just good.
You must just have a crappy Chick-fil-A.
No, man.
Now the chat's just all salivating right now.
All right.
Maybe I just have a really good Chick-fil-A. I don't know.
Only in the UK for proper fish and chips. No, that's why we have Long John Silver's.
Long John Silver's.
You know what I like at Long John Silver's? The chicken. I don't eat fish.
My wife likes Captain D's better than Long John Silver's.
We have a Captain D's in like 2 towns over. Our towns are touching one another, but I've never eaten there. The place is like scary looking from the outside. So.
Wexter said this is the first stream he'll have to leave because it made him hungry.
Yeah, well, that's because it's rolling up on our dinner time.
Yeah, it is. It's 5:56 in the evening here. So
Arthur Treachers. Now that's showing age right there, Uncle Ron.
No doubt.
Arthur Treachers. You remember the sign for that? It was like a cube that was leaning and it had a lid on it. And it spun around on a pole.
I've never heard of it.
You've never heard of Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips?
No.
They had them in Orlando back in the late 70s.
That's not 80s. Florida. I live in Florida. That's not Florida.
Orlando was Florida back then.
No, it wasn't. Disney World was there in the 80s.
Yeah, just barely.
Well, 70. What was it? 76 or something?
Yeah, late 70s.
But yeah, it was there. So yeah, it was already Fantasyland.
Andrew, sorry, but you're wrong. Yorkshire for fish and chips, mate. It's where it was invented.
Not me, Sean Butler. Not me, buddy.
No, I don't know what Cedric's Fish and Chips is.
Carl, I'm eating.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of times where my wife will bring my dinner while we're still on the street.
Right.
You usually have pizza, don't you?
Yeah, we've been trying to cut that out, just because it's not good for me and the diabetes. But it's what I'll be having today. The kids
be having that, but we're having that.
The kids were beating me into it yesterday, and I told them no, and then so we ordered it today. So,
well, I don't know what we're having for supper. We had fried chicken for lunch. So I don't know what I'm having.
This cold that I'm fighting. Like yesterday, I was nonstop hungry. the whole day. So for lunch we had Jersey Mike's subs, and I made Priscilla get me the giant, which is like 14 inches. It's a little bit bigger than a Subway sub, and I ate 2/3 of that for lunch. I could have eaten the whole thing. Like I ate 2/3 of it, and I still could have kept going, and then I had the rest of it for dinner. But it was like I was just like nonstop hungry yesterday.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm hungry today. We had fried chicken for lunch, and we had chicken for lunch with a little bit of rice, and wasn't satiated by that. So I'm hungry. Pizza does sound good, but I don't feel like driving to go get it.
Uncle Ron said he could have brought pizza to Murph, but then it's not fresh. You'd had to bring pizza to IC3D on Thursday, which you got there the day before, so it still wouldn't have been fresh. So, but it's all right. We're gonna make it up to you one of these days here, Uncle Ron, and then we can go get real pizza off the street.
That's too bad, Martin.
It's been since he got back from Murph.
I haven't been sick. Or Uber Eats. Uber Eats what? What do they eat?
Yeah, Uber ain't bringing you nothing, Walter.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it would cost me $40 to get anything from Uber Eats if they brought anything.
See, Martin, I don't have a fever. It's just a cold, but I mean it's con crud is what it is. I mean, it's from being in that small of a building with that many people, but I was just like pumping the hand sanitizer all weekend.
See, Matt,
I'm glad you said hand sanitizer.
All right, guys, check it out. Ben, it's your turn to do your outro. We're done talking about food. I'm hungry. Do your outro. Tell them where to find you.
Thanks very much, Glenn and Walter, for having me this evening and for allowing me to be on Fun in the Kuntry Basement. I really appreciate it. You can find me on YouTube at Hawk3D Proto and on all the other social media, including Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I'm extremely active on all those platforms. Not so much on YouTube at the moment, but I will be very soon. I've got some work in the pipeline. So thanks for having me, and hope you all have a great night. And I'm hungry now as well.
All right, Glenn, it's you, buddy.
All right, and I am Glenn from Fun King 3D, and you know, again, normally I have a kid here, but we're working on that. Again, he wants to build a Nerf gun, so hopefully that will generate some videos from him, which would be awesome. We are on YouTube. I don't do Twitch. I just haven't gotten into it yet. I guess I got to lock down the YouTube thing first. But as always, we thank you greatly for being here and watching. FunCountryBasement.com will always give you a link to the stream at least by Sunday, if not beforehand. That way you know what channel it'll be on. It will be on Fun King 3D next week. And you can find us really anywhere at Fun King 3D. The easiest way to reach me is on Twitter. I think that's everything I had.
You done?
I think so.
I don't know with your old butt. You might have forgot something. Think about it now.
Well, you start and then I'll...
There he goes again.
All right. I'm Walter, Kuntry 3D. Thank you for watching on my channel. I want to thank Ben for being here. Appreciate you filling in for Chris, who went AWOL on us for the next couple of weeks. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all at Kuntry 3D. It's been great. I love hanging out with the guys and just having a chat. And you never know what you'll talk about on Fun in the Kuntry Basement. So don't come in here with any preconceived notions.
Or don't come in here hungry.
Oh, don't come in here hungry. That's for sure. God dang it. Now I got to go to Crystal's, and that's 110 miles away.
Well, at least you're not going to White Castle.
That's correct. But anyway, guys, if y'all don't have anything else, we're going to get out of here. And thank y'all. And don't forget, FunCountryBasement.com is the way to get here. And maybe Swamp Guy Larry will show up one of these Sundays. We'll see y'all later.
Print on.